for subscribing to my YouTube channel and sharing with your network. I really appreciate it. And for the newcomers, my name is Brenda Binge. And I'm so happy that you're able to join this YouTube channel. You can check there's a video that I've tried to explain what this YouTube channel is all about. So you can check on the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them. So also click the notification bell so that you're able to you can get the notification once I have uploaded any video. So today I have a guest, a very important guest for that matter. She's an amazing lady doing amazing things in the environmental scene. So I'm honored to have her on board. She's very busy, so I'm so honored to have her on board. I'll give her the floor to introduce herself, then I will pick it from there. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. So my name is Anita Soina. I'm an environmental activist, environmental advocate, environmental warrior, environmental champion. I am a student at Multimedia University, pursuing a Bachelor of Arts in PR and Corporate Communication in my final year. I really can't wait. Okay. And yeah, so I also run an organization. I love to call it a movement of young environmental champions who, just like me, don't have any class background or the same, but these are people we have always motivated each other and trained ourselves and welcome ideas from people who've at least have gone to class and have the environmental related knowledge. So it's called the Spice Warriors. And then I'm also the founder of it's a new kid in our organization. It's called Green Warriors TV, where we purpose to tell the stories, the unheard and untold stories of environmental champions across the country and maybe in future Africa. I'm also an author. I have published my first book. It's called The Green War. Yeah, I do a lot of things. I'm a digital influencer as well for environmental related products and services.
Okay, that's quite a lot, and it's quite interesting since you're still young and you're doing all these things. And something that is very unique that I've noticed is that your training is quite different from what you're doing. So what really urged you, or what necessitated you to do activities with regards to environmental practices?
Okay, so like I like to say it everywhere, I didn't start at the age of 2. That's a lie. Oh, I planted 1 million trees when I was 3 years old. It's a lie still. So it has always been my dream to at least join the other people who are doing some positive things for the society, people who are championing for the SDGs and other things. And after my high school, I really wanted to do something as well. I wanted to be in the, I love to call it the 1%, because most people don't like to do such kind of things. Most youths don't even understand what the SDGs are. So I wanted to go to that direction. And I remember going into a mentorship program at an organization called Spice Without Borders, where my mentor is the founder. And at that time, I was telling him, he was training me on the SDGs and guiding me through. I was like, you know what, I want to go and help and feed the poor. I want to go into the side of zero hunger and no to poverty. But then again, I came across climate action and I was like, you know what, when the environment is not right, we are not even going to fight poverty well. The environment has to be okay first. And that is when I really started doing it. But just looking back, I remember my grandfather used to love trees. I used to stay with my grandfather before he passed on. And at that time, I really used to see how he appreciated trees, but I did not even really care. My grandfather said people should not cut the trees that he has planted and the trees in his farm, because he's our grandfather and he has said so. So that time I really didn't see the essence. And also in high school, I was a scout. Scouting is all about, I want to go out for funkies and all those things. But in the tree planting projects in school, I also used to participate actively because I was an official. So you're the chairperson at the scouting club, you have to do it. But then I came to realize maybe it's something I was meant to do from the beginning, just that I had not found guidance, or maybe I had not discovered it. So I look at it as passion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. And it's interesting because even I'm using this platform to also promote awareness on sustainable development goals. So the aim basically is to bring people on board, people who are actively on the ground and doing these activities that promote these SDGs. People like you. And it's interesting that there are a lot of people on the ground who are doing these activities, and still there are a lot of way more people who are not aware of these SDGs as you said. So there's a need to promote awareness on matters to do with sustainability. So that's why even this platform that I have is basically it's a sustainable campaign. The way I just call it. So my YouTube channel is called Sustainable Campaign. So it's just championing on issues to do with sustainability in environmental aspect, agriculture, and just natural resource management. So maybe to ask you, what are your goals? What do you feel that are your goals? Because you actually engage in quite a lot of activities in your span areas, and maybe you can just explain to us.
So mine is to create a generation, to create a movement of young people who will champion for environment conservation and help in coming up with, I believe young people have ideas. So I know young people can come up with ideas to at least that can help in protection of the environment, that can help us in thinking about sustainable plans, such kind of things. So as much as we focus a lot on tree planting activities where I believe forests and trees act as carbon sinks, we don't ignore the oceans, because oceans also act as great carbon sinks. So we are trying to just push, because we try and look at it as much as we are fighting carbon emissions. Sorry, as much as we are fighting carbon emissions, we also need to look at it this way. What if they don't stop today? We still need these carbon sinks as we try and push for. And also we are trying to push, as much as we're telling people we need to plant trees, we need to grow trees. What about we need to protect the ones that are there? So it's basically pushing for people conserving what we already have.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So I've also seen you, like I was telling you, I was looking at what you're doing, and you're doing amazing things. And I've seen you engaging in tree planting activities. Seen you doing amazing things on your platform. Interest in the forest, like the way you mentioned that it started a while back with your grandfather. So maybe how far are you with the tree planting? Maybe how much have you covered with the tree planting activities?
Yeah, so this is something funny about me, and I'm sure you've not seen it with other people. If you ask me how many trees I've planted, I normally not really have that direct answer of I have planted a certain number of trees. Reason being, sometimes a lot of trees have been planted under me. A lot of trees have been planted by my members of the organization when I'm not even there. The other day I was in Tanzania, they were elsewhere planting trees. So sometimes I don't understand the hype in people mentioning. I know it's to motivate people, but also to look at the trees that people are planting. Did the trees grow? Did you grow trees, or did you plant trees? So we end up saying Anita planted 1 million trees, someone else planted 3 million, and Brenda planted 5 million. But in real sense, maybe only 1 million trees did survive. So I love to look at it as the hype in growing trees rather than the planted trees. But I'd still say the trees that we have planted as an organization, as at last year we were at 3,000. This year we haven't. We have the counts. We know that we planted this but so that we can give the number at the end of the year. We are going to say these are the number of trees that we planted this year. Maybe we did not meet our target, and this is the survival rate. So I'd say how I can measure is by the places where we plant trees.
Exactly.
I love to plant trees in institutions.
Okay.
Not because they do well there, but yes, also they do well in schools, but also, you know, when you do in institutions, be it churches, police stations, and elsewhere, you know that you have somebody who's going to check after the trees. Then we've also planted trees in different counties. I can say so far we are up to 4 counties, different counties, and we are now going to do another launch on 31st, where we are going to plant trees in 4 counties. At the same day, at the same time. I wanted to try this because I've never done it, so that you can see how I can train leaders in other areas to be able to also run the organization from their different areas. So I think that way we'll have more impact, and we'll be able to measure and say for sure this is the reach that we have.
Okay, so yeah, since you have interest in the forestry resource, and looking also at the sustainable development goals, even like SDG 15, life on land, there's an indicator of promoting sustainable management of forest systems, and also the halting deforestation activities, and being able to rehabilitate degraded sites. So using that indicator, how far we as a country, let's say in Kenya, with regards to this indicator?
I'd say, Brenda, I still put it as a few people are trying their best, because, you know, in this one, we need everybody on board. We need the government, we need private and public sectors, the people. You know, we need people to understand why we are doing this, because as long as we do not really go ahead and educate them and tell them this is why we are doing this is why we need to have maybe at least 10% forest cover, they say so. It's going to be close to nothing. I love to say we plant millions of trees every day, but the trees that are cut the same day, they could be triple what was planted.
Exactly.
That way we are losing. So as much as we are going to talk about rehabilitating spaces for forestry, and people outside there are not really ready to do so, I'd say we love too much PR, not really as the people of the K, but even as the government. We love to talk about something because it's beautiful when we talk about it. But you can imagine how more beautiful it is when we act about it. So we are still at the talking stage. We are still having conferences, thousands and thousands of conferences with millions and millions of allowances, and then we are not really, the environment is not getting that attention. I mean, action should have more allowances than just the discussion itself. But that's not what is happening. And I think that's where we fail big time. Everybody loves to talk about it because it's fancy.
Interesting. And it's good you've mentioned the idea of all these initiatives require a multi-sectoral approach where we bring everyone on board.
Yes.
And maybe also to add that I know that forestry is an interesting natural resource. And if you look at the forestry economics, you'd find that the idea of involving the local communities in your initiatives will actually improve this natural resource, because they're like, they are the owners of this resource. So if you're able to include them, include the private sector, include the public, the policy makers, then I think we will be good to go. Yeah.
Actually talking about how involving these community people, because they are the resource owners. I know it belongs to all of us, but you know, if this is my land, this is my tree, this is all that. We went to Ngarindare Forest a few months ago, and I checked how we were engaging with the community. And one thing that these people told us were, long time ago, we did not really understand the importance of trees and forests. And that time we had, like, you could stand from wherever we were and see the road. But once they understood that it's for their own benefit, they started taking care. And right now they have even given out rangers from the community to take care of it. So it's clearly having these people understand why we are doing so fast. If we're not going to do that, it's going to be hard. Many people outside there will ask you, why, if I can cut a tree and do this, why do you think I should keep this tree here? How is it helping me? You know, those kind of things. So we need to really sit down. The way we are having conferences in Nairobi, conferences in the New York, we need to take them to the people back in the village, so that they'll understand that this is true. These people are really trying to protect us as well.
Okay, yeah, it's true. Yeah, thank you for that, Anita. So also, you mentioned that you're very key in SDG 13, the climate action, and maybe I can also add that we just had a climate change and another climate change expert where we discussed issues to do with climate change. So maybe what's the linkage? What's the linkage between the forestry and the climate change?
Yeah, so like I said, the effects of climate change right now could be droughts, floods, the change in weather patterns, all those things, and we know how all these are caused by I could say the emissions that you're releasing to the carbon emissions and the other, yes, the greenhouse gases. And like I mentioned, trees act as carbon sinks. That one, even a class 4 children will tell you, I breathe in oxygen from the trees, I give the trees carbon dioxide, and the trees give me oxygen. So it's basically as simple as that. We need the carbon sinks. If not so, we are going to have the greenhouse gases and causing all these issues, the global warming, the Arctic ice is almost done melting and all that, and people still find it normal. So I will literally link the forestry to that. So yeah, that's how I personally connect the two.
Okay, yeah, so maybe if we can go back to your affiliations in the organizations that you're involved in, the Spice Warrior and all that. Do you have, and your climate, and maybe are you working with other partners as well, or you're just working single-handedly?
Yeah, so in the SDG 17, there's partnership for the goals. I believe in partnership a lot. I know that one thing for sure I can't do is I can't do this alone. You can't do it alone. We all need each other. So yeah, I do partner with organizations, both small and big organizations, in different ways, also to the ability of the organization, and also depending on how we agree to work together. But I can say I'm still learning in this journey of conservation. I'm still young. I'm still starting to understand how people work together, because as much as you think you're working for a common goal, some may not really be welcoming. So I'm still trying to understand what type of organizations will handle this well and how are we going to work together. But for sure, I believe in partnerships. I believe in reaching out to even organizations that are not environmentally whatever related, but I try and push them to at least have in their CSR include environment. So that's what I'm pushing for, because ever since I started this, and even looking at the members of my organization, people who came from my Instagram account, I like what you're doing, from my Facebook, all that. I'd say my target audience is, I will never target you, Brenda. Okay. You and I'll be taking too much time coming to you to tell you things that you know. So my audience is I could say the other people outside conservation, so that we bring them on board. Like I want to spend most of my time there, making them understand why me and Brenda are doing this. So that's why I'm also reaching out to other partners outside conservation, so that we will come together.
Okay, yeah. So that's interesting, and it's also good because that's just the way you have mentioned. For us to win this war, this fight, we need to put everyone on board, irrespective of their background. Yeah. So, do you ever experience some challenges and limitations in carrying out your interventions? If so, which are these challenges?
I could say, there are challenges, both personal and maybe challenges affecting conservation in conservation in general. I'd say many people don't take it seriously. It's really not funny how many youths will love to say Anita or Miti, but if I tell them let's go and plant trees, it's something that really, I like it when they call me that, Mama Miti, and all those kind of names, all those names. But when it's time to really participate, people, are nowhere to be seen. I'm left with the same people, or maybe a +2 or +3. When I really expect all of us, if you love me and you love what I'm doing, then you have to at least be interested, especially for people who are old enough to understand what you're talking about. They are a big challenge, because you wake up every day knowing that you're going to repeat the same thing to people who are still going to ignore it. So I'll say that is challenge number one. And another challenge is also trying to partner with people. I'd say for sure, I can't lie to you, trying to assess offices and trying to really push. I've been to offices that I won't mention names, that when you really want to partner, it's when you're inside the office, it's all yeses, all good work, all this. But when you leave, nobody is picking your calls, nobody wants. Yet, I'm not even coming for money. I mean, I've never even, ever since conservation, I have never made a coin from it. I'm the one who spend, I go to my pocket to do it, because it's something that I love and it's something that we need to attend to. So I'd say another issue is resources as well, because as long as finding partners becomes a challenge, then raising resources for the activities becomes a challenge. But I never allow that to block me from doing it, because I tell my members every day, if we are going to plant 200 trees, if no one is going to help us with the seedlings, we are going to fundraise for 100 bob, 20 bob, 50 bob, we raise seedlings. That's why I have never done an event saying I'm planting 1 million trees, because for sure, right, I'm not in that capability to do so yet. So I don't have the ability to do that yet. So I focus on growing the trees that I know we can handle as a team. But one day, when you're able to solve the resource issue, I'm sure we're going to mobilize a big tree growing exercise.
Okay, that's good to know. So you do some monitoring and evaluation to see how far you've done, and maybe do you do some follow-ups?
Yes, for sure. I can tell you, I planted trees at Central Police Station for my 20th birthday, and the tree is doing well. I even tell people, if you find yourself in Central Police Station, just tell them, please. Share someone as an idea here. So yeah, we do follow-ups. That's why I tell you, we plant in places where we can see. We also join some group in planting trees along Kileleshwa. Sometimes the acacia trees. I'm sure if you just go through the Kileleshwa police station route, if you use that route, the acacia trees, and every day I pass there, I tell my friends, we planted those trees. It makes me feel good. So we really do follow up on trees that we do. That's why we are growing trees and not just planting them.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So even your nickname, the Anita Wamiti, will soon be in the billboards, because this is amazing. Because as young as you are, you're doing amazing things. And maybe what advice can you give maybe to my subscriber out there, or your subscriber who is just there in the house saying that, okay, I don't have environmental background, I don't know anything about natural resource management. What can I do? What can this person do, even if they're in their houses?
First of all, let me just appreciate them for subscribing to such kind of YouTube platforms.
Okay.
To your subscribers and my subscribers who will watch this, God bless you so much, because who are watching this, God bless you so much, because for someone to subscribe to such kind of channel, it's not really. And that also means that it will be easy for you to join these activities as well. So don't feel like it's a qualification. And like I like to say, the only qualification you need for you to conserve the environment, so take care of the planet, is the fact that you live on Earth. There is no other qualification. So to everybody, through your small ways, if it's avoiding single-use plastic, I mean that those ones that have alternatives, try and avoid them, because you dispose them well, and you think you've thrown away. There's no away for plastic. They end up in water bodies, landfills, and all those things. So let's really try and give it, like I say, our small actions do matter. Need one person doing things a million ways. We need 1 million people trying to do things their small ways, and that's where we are going to get there. So keep doing, just keep trying. Go online, read about something on how you can contribute to it, visit pages and timelines that talk about that, and for sure you'll just be contributing to the cause.
Okay, thank you very much. So maybe as we wind up, maybe you can tell us more about your book and how they can also get it.
My book, I'm trying to see if I have, of course, I should be having it on my study table. My book is called The Green Law. It's a book that highlights environmental injustices, both in Kenya, a lot of them in Kenya, but it's just like an African book. It's a book that talks about Africa because I am Africa and Africa is my business.
Okay.
Yes, so this is the book. It's very small, as you can see. It's not a book that you have to strain reading. It's a book that you can read within a few minutes. Reason being, I know people don't love reading this content. A voluminous book will be boring. So I tried and summarized the book. People who have read the book say it's emotional. I was just writing everything that I feel every day when I wake up and all that. So yeah, get a book. It's at Nuria store. I believe you'll put the link on the description. Yeah, there are contacts there for Nuria store. You contact them. They deliver the book to whichever part of the country and the world.
Okay.
Within 4 to 5 days, you have your book. And we also have hoodies. Branded The Green War. We have different things. The hoodies, mostly right now, we have hoodies in the book. And yeah, so the book goes for 1,000 Bob Kenya shillings and the hoodie goes for 500 Kenya shillings. And all proceeds go to environment conservation activities.
Exactly. So guys, so if you're saying that you do not have the capacity to engage in environmental activities, this is a perfect way. If you buy this book, if you buy Anita's hoodie, then you're able to, since the proceeds are going to environmental conservation. So I'll share the link on the description on how they'll get the book. And I believe, guys, my subscribers, please support Anita. She's doing amazing things. I will also send her social media platforms so that you're able to see what she's doing. She's doing amazing things as young as she is. Yeah, so Anita, I think on my end, I'm through. Mine is to appreciate you. Thank you very much for joining, and also to appreciate George for linking us and for the connection. And I know you're busy, and with school and also with your initiatives. So mine is to wish you all the best, and thank you very much for coming. I'll give you the floor if you have your closing remarks and maybe something that you'd like to share with my subscribers. Yes, so I give you the floor.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's the thoughts, first of all, and I'm really sorry I've been so up and down, but I've finally done this. I feel so appreciated. I feel like my work is appreciated, and you know that motivates someone, because in conservation we have a lot of things. I tell my friends every day, and maybe they do not understand. With this work comes a lot of fatigue, running up and down, a lot of anxiety, realizing that you could be doing zero work and all that. So I really appreciate the opportunity, and to just tell your subscribers that let's all continue contributing to this cause, because money on a dead planet is nothing. Thank you.
Are you okay?
I get so emotional when I talk about the anxiety that comes with climate crisis every other time. But I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay, guys, you see, so let's support Anita, and also let's make sure that we are doing something, individually, so that we do not have this climate crisis. Yeah, so thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much, Anita. I really appreciate you. I'm sure we'll keep in touch. So that we'll be sharing activities so that both of our subscribers can be able to learn a thing or two. Yeah.
And people, please, if you're watching this, subscribe to her channel. She's really doing the most. Bye.
Thank you very much. And I also heard you mentioning that you have tree planting activities to come very soon. Maybe you will share with me, then I can also share with my subscribers.
Yeah, maybe a quick one. On 31st of July, we're having a tree planting in 4 counties: Narok,
Okay.
Nakuru, Kajiado, and Nandi. So we'll be doing different schools. Kajiado, we're doing AIC and AIC Girls. Nakuru, we're doing Joro Girls High School. Narok, we're doing, it's called Olchekut Supat Secondary School. And Nandi, we are doing Kapsigak Secondary School. So feel free. You can help us adopt a tree at 100 bob. We'll share the till number, or you can just purchase our merchandise, or even attend. I mean, I'll be so glad to see most of you in any of the events.
Exactly. So if any of my subscribers in these counties, you can support Anita. And also, even if you can travel, let's do this, you guys, okay? I will support you too with,
Thank you.
with that, yeah, so we can discuss that after the video, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Anita, and have a good day. Okay, bye. Let me stop the recording.